Business Brilliant, on the one hand, was meant to connect the middle class to the ideas that really work around wealth creation. And at the same time, it was a recognition that it was getting harder and harder to succeed using the old rules. And the old rules were, we know these, our mom told us these: go to a good school, get a degree in the right topic, go to a good firm, work very hard for many years, and you will be rewarded with financial independence or financial security. And we know that that just doesn't quite add up anymore. And so the urgency is that people are being asked to take on more risk all the time, to think like risk managers. They're being asked to develop their own skills. They're being asked to make more frequent career choices. And the Business Brilliant features and profiles a lot of great entrepreneurs, but the theme of the book is not you should be an entrepreneur like Richard Branson. It is that Richard Branson has some behaviors and skills that you should be aware of, that you should be using. Because if you were using these in your lives, you might find that you are more likely to achieve the financial security that you were told was in your was it within reach. But the old rules just aren't working anymore.
I agree with you completely, and I remember you used some examples. Warren Buffett became rich by not following Warren Buffett way.
Right.
So do you think there are a lot of misinformation about success principles floating around that's actually misguiding the young professionals out there?
Well, there's something called conventional wisdom, right? So conventional wisdom is what most people believe to be true. And I think in example after example in the book, what I'm trying to do is first start out with the conventional wisdom and then point out that our research, our surveys of 400 very successful households, when compared to 400 households in the middle class, show that the conventional wisdom is not the most effective way to do it. I mean, that's a simple way to put it. So when the conventional wisdom is wrong, you're asking people to take a big leap, right? And we'll talk about leap later. But you're asking people to look at the way that they're oriented or the way that their brain is wired or the way that they've been taught to do things, and you're asking them to look at things differently. That's pretty big. And the example of the Warren Buffett way, which is this idea that there's this really smart person who can look at a spreadsheet and look at the news reports and see magic in the numbers and say, this is the right answer and these 10 are the wrong answer. That's not what Warren Buffett does. That would be the conventional wisdom around his success, and that's so attractive to people. But the truth is, Warren Buffett approaches it very differently. In fact, Warren Buffett is probably one of the greatest networkers this planet has ever had. And he uses the strengths of other people, the knowledge of other people, the power of other people to accomplish his goals. And that was the right approach for him. I'm not saying he's not a great investor, but that's not the whole story. Asking people to get outside of the conventional wisdom is asking them to get out of their comfort zone. So I have a great opportunity to be in front of a lot of folks these days, and we're putting the research in front of them, and that's why it's important to have research. You know, you start out by saying, this isn't my opinion. I'm not going to tell you my story. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to show you numbers. People love the numbers. They love the evidence, but you still have to connect it to them, right? So if I'm going to talk about Warren Buffett, people need help understanding, well, what does that mean to me? I'm not Warren Buffett. I have a job. I work 40 hours a week. What does this mean to me? And so that's the part where we have to get them out of their comfort zone. The numbers, they can see. They can see right away this behavior is more likely to lead to success than that behavior. I can see it in their faces. Mm-hmm. The execution part of it is very different.